Hello and welcome to a Brave Frontier video. Today I'm going to start talking about the Brave Halloween dungeons, as this will take three videos. Three videos for a few reasons. One, there are a lot of dungeons. Two, one of the dungeons doesn't come out until later. And three, well, why not? The first set of dungeons I'm going to tackle is going to be the new set of dungeons that are currently available. The next video will be covering the Halloween dungeon from last year. And the third video will be the new dungeon that comes out later on during this Brave Halloween celebration. But before we talk about the dungeons, I want to really quick talk about the event bazaar that's currently available, that's underneath the name of Candy Crash, as there are a fair few goodies you can get from here, and you can easily clear out the entirety of this depending on how you go about it. So there are 4 items in total that are worth going for. 3 depending on how long you've been logging in for the 6th anniversary pre-celebration login campaign. If you can log in for the 36th day, you do not need to pick up the Yin Yin, as on the 36th day you get a Yin Yin for free. If you aren't able to log in for 36 days for the entire campaign, you might want to pick up the Yin Yin just to be on the safe side. Earthbound Hex is a really good Elgift to pick up. The Earth and Fortitude is also fairly decent, and the alternate art for Xenon might be nice to pick up for now, even if you don't have Xenon. So this will in total cost you 12,000 tokens, which sounds like a lot, but you can easily get that just by playing through the game just like literally 10 minutes a day. But how is that possible? Well, let's get right into that, as the first dungeon that I'm covering is going to be the dungeon you want to be doing for sure, the Spooky Paradise. It is the daily dungeon. There are 3 quests you can do in a day, and it is super easy. How easy is it? Well, I'm gonna tackle this right now just to show off just how easy it is. I'm using my free-to-play squad, the squad that using units you can get from any gates. That's just Stealth Frontier, because why not? She's also free-to-play, so makes sense. You can use any units you want. I suggest going in with, well, any Omni units, just be on the safe side. I suggest going in with as many experience boosting units as possible, as you do get a fair bit of experience from this. But enough talking, let's get right on into this first quest. This will pretty much just be me going through these quests, as again, they're super easy, there's not a whole lot to it. I'm literally just gonna auto my way all the way through the entirety of this. So this will pretty much just be a super short video right here, right now. Well, for this section. The next part, the next dungeon is going to be a little bit more interesting, but still easily completable with just about any squad. But yeah, that does it for this first part of the daily dungeon. And for clearing the first part of the daily dungeon, for the first time you go through it, you get 1 gem. It's not 1 gem daily, but 1 gem overall. Now, here you have a diverging path. It really does not matter too much how you go about doing this. I might be wrong in just thinking, but I believe both of these have 3 quests that come after it. And depending on which quest you do, which quest you do here depends which set of quests you get after this one. So there are 2 more quests you need to go through, but 3 more options after this one you go here. So you want to make sure you do all this. I don't recall if you get a gem if you go through, and I'll mention that here in just a moment. We're going to go through the Crossroads Stairs. Crossroads Soap will get you a different set of dungeons from the one you get here. And it's going to be much of the same, just me going through it on auto, not really trying at all, as again, this is a super easy dungeon. All of the spheres I'm using are free to play as well. I think the only change I really made was I gave Xenia Vorpal Chainblades, and I gave Xion Armor of Seals, which are still easy spheres to get as long as you go through the entirety of Raid Class all the way through Raid Class 6, grinding out the materials you need for Armor of Seals. And for completing the second dungeon in the daily dungeon, you should have gotten, that's weird, 700. Okay. Maybe it's the other one. So you don't want to do the stairs one. You want to go for the slope because that one will get you 700 skulls. Or maybe it's just weird and doesn't give you 700 skulls for going through it. I don't know. This is only the second day that these dungeons are available, so I'm not too familiar with how this works. Basically, you can earn, well, just a moment. Oh! Well, this is interesting. Apparently, going through the stairs, you have a chance of getting an Elgift? Okay, I was not expecting that. What Elgift is that, by the way? Oh, that's fair. So I guess Spooky Stairs gets you the chance of getting an Elgift? Whereas going down Spooky Slope, you get 700 tokens from that, plus a chance, plus 700 more tokens. So I guess it's an option of what you want? I don't know. I honestly do not know. And I'm over unit capacity. Give me just one moment. Alright, so let's actually do this second dungeon, Candy Crash. There are, I believe, 3 different quests here, all of which are easy, and you do want to pay attention to, well, I'll get to that in just a moment here, as there's a story here, and I'm going to skip it for now, but I suggest you guys go through and the story and actually pay attention to it, because it's actually kind of endearing and a little bit, it's funny and endearing in some spots, and also a little bit sad in some spots. It's a short story, it's worth a read. Alright, so this first quest is super easy. You can just blaze on through it. You can auto through it with no problems, as you can clearly see here. And that's the end of the first quest. Again, there's not a whole lot you need to worry about with this one. This isn't the quest that you need to worry about. It's the second, the dungeon from last year that you would need to worry about. But yeah, you get a fair few things from that. Next up, we have Green with Gorging. Ah, there are 4 dungeons in total. And I believe I'm going to take this Sarah on your friend. And we're gonna go in. So this one you actually need to pay a little bit of attention. So Lydia here, or this teacher, will tell you how to go about taking care of these. What are these? Mossies right here? Yeah. Pretty much what you want to do is you want to target down the unit and just attack. I believe these require you to have a certain, I believe, total hit count. So you want to make sure that your squad has a high enough hit count with your units. I will go ahead and say that you want it to be normal hits, not Brave Burst or Super Brave Bursts. It can be, but you want to be sure that if you are using Brave Burst and Super Brave Burst, that they have only single targeting attacks, not necessarily for this quest, but for a quest that comes up later on. As long as you meet the hit count requirements, you should be fine. And it's gonna be much the same here. Pretty much the higher tier the Mossy, the more hits you need